Good morning everyone and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And I had a very busy day yesterday. Yeah, time for more coffee. Right, what did I make? I made what was requested, and one of them is still outside of the bag, so I'll just put the nice bag down there. And I did the girly Scarecrow, and I did the boy Scarecrow, and I did the 5 gnomes. These are the Christmas gnomes in that snowflake tea or chocolate cup. I did the gnome who has an old sort of like gnarled oak tree as his hat. I used a few of the bats. I used the Halloween, that actually does say Halloween, and it's a sort of like scary Scarecrow, and he does have a happy there, but I didn't use the happy. I just used the little crows and bats that you can see just there. So I used those, and I also used the zombie hands coming up out of the ground, and I will now show you what I made. So first up is this one. Really simple, just a load of distress oxide, which you can see is still all over my finger, and just cut very simply in black and then trimmed to match the base of the pumpkin. And these pumpkin frames are also from MX Art. Isn't that spooky? I love the little crows at the top. They're kind of looking at him as if to say, what on earth? Especially that one that's looking back over his shoulder. So that is 2 die sets there, and then the little bats are just dotted along the base. So really like that. And then next up we have, I will measure these in a second, the Gnarly gnome. Isn't he lovely? I got carried away with him. I decided to cut more of the hat and use it as a sort of like silhouette tree in the background. And because of his colouring, I tried to stay as true to the website as possible. So because of his colouring, I was just thinking wizard. So I had to put, you know, like little white dots and sparkles upon his hat. And he's quite interesting because his colouring is quite dirty. Like he's been digging in the dirt and planting some trees himself. His little fingers are quite dirty, so I did add those elements. And then his little feet, just a little bit dotty, and that's where I've used that bat set there and just took 2 of those bats from that set and popped them on there. I really like that. I think it's so cute. And that tiny little spider web and that little spider. Love it. I think I should measure before I forget, shouldn't I? Right, let's have a go here. The length there from twiggy bit to twiggy bit, I'm going to say is just over 5¼ inches on that big Halloween Scarecrow. And then the tallest hand, 3 inches. And then we're going to be, let's have a look at that, just over 3½ inches. And if you want to know the size of these pumpkins, because MX Art does still sell them, I've used the biggest one, which is 5 inches. And then going behind it 5½. So they're 5 by 5½, those pumpkins. They're a gorgeous size. And isn't it weird how my camera's gone, you know, because I know that that's a lot more vibrant than it's looking, but never mind. We're a bit washed out. Right, next up, and we have the little gnomes in the teacup. Isn't that cute? And that's my sparkly glitter paper there from Joanne. And I've used one of the sentiments from the Creative Path Christmas Ephemera pack. I really love that. Just look at all those different character faces. Now, I will say that the design is embossed into the hats, so you're going to need to get your white gel pen out and do, you know, just a little bit of squiggly along their hats to give them that sort of Fair Isle knitted look. But I just think that's absolutely gorgeous. And even once you've done it as gnomes, you've got a whole teacup under there. So that teacup can be used for other things. It's a whole die. So I will measure that one. And I've positioned it, you know, virtually identical to the website. So that's 3¼ inches high, which of course also makes it perfect for a tag, by 2¾ inches. I just think that's really, really, really cute. Just love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I just love that snowy, sparkly paper. Right, next up is the Scarecrows. And I have to tell you, or maybe I shouldn't tell you, throughout this, the only thing running through my head was Chucky's in love. Because when I looked at him, I thought, he could be Halloween too. You know, if I put a couple of black stripes down his face with some little stitches, he'd look like the Chucky doll. So maybe I shouldn't tell you that, because you might not be able to get it out of your head. But I was just singing Chucky's in love because I had to do both of them together, and it's just the eyes and the expressions. I just think they're absolutely wonderful, just gorgeous. And everything here that I've got on my table today I've coloured with markers, and this exactly the same. And I've used my white gel pen and darker markers to sort of like enhance the tartan look. And I've used my tiny gel pens. I've shown you them before. When you need to do really fine lines, it's really, you know, to get nice colours, they're the only ones that will do it. So I did that on his shirt, and then I used the gel liner to darken and highlight the mouths. And then behind, I've used a stencil from AliExpress, and I just used little dots of different colours of the browns and mustard distress oxide, and then I went around it with my pen and my white again, and I was just thinking about rolled up hay bales. That's all I was thinking as I was doing it, and then scribbly scrawly around the edges again. And that is a surprise creation, notched out die, and this one is the arch die, which if you put a strip along the bottom of this one, what you end up with is a cloche. So this is a great set of dies for all sorts of things. But aren't they wonderful? I just think it's so sweet. Love the big staring eyes, and of course the little tiny dots on the cheeks again. Love it. Right, so let's do measurements. And going from his little crow nest hat, 4¼ inches, and going from the top of her hat, she is 3½ inches. That's to the ground spikes there. But look at that little crow. You see, if I put my finger there, he's just so sweet. Sweet little crow, just sitting there in the straw on top of his hat. And I will tell you now, I made a mistake with this. The straw goes behind, and I stuck it on top of. So when you put it together, you'll do it correctly, and the straw will go behind with the little crow. But anyway, I still think they're super, super cute. And that is what I've got for you today. Now, I haven't got a clue what I'm up with tomorrow, so it's always good to come back. Yes, come back and watch with me. Right, as I said, have an absolutely awesome day. As usual, all links below, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.